From Buffalo Wild Wings in Brookings, welcome to Benchwarmers. Today's featured guests are assistant football coach at South Dakota State University, Dan Jackson. SDSU Associate Athletic Director for Facilities and Operations, Jeff Holm. Assistant men's basketball coach at South Dakota State, Rob Klinkefus. And our host, Midco Sports Network's Tom Nieman.
Hello, welcome to Benchwarmers. We are at Buffalo Wild Wings in Brookings, South Dakota, home of the Jackrabbits. Decked out in blue with the panel of brilliance this week, and we're going to talk some football with Coach Jackson, a little basketball with Coach Klink here, and facilities with Mr. Jeff Holm. But let's start with this. Dan, you've been here about 3 years now. Homer, you grew up here in Brookings.
Yes.
Klink, you've been around for 9 years now with the Jackrabbits. It's just when you guys walk around campus with all the new buildings, I mean, you got the performing arts centers, you got new engineering buildings, the union was just updated, and all the sports facilities. You guys just walk around campus and go, wow, this is turning into a big, very cool university.
Mm-hmm. It is. From my perspective, I did grow up in Brookings. I just actually had a meeting the other day in the Ball Source Ballroom with some alums, and most of them came up and said, I haven't been back here in 15 years, and wow, what a difference.
Yeah.
And if you can imagine not having been around for the last 15 years and coming back, wow, what a difference. All the things that are happening, both from an athletic and academic standpoint, are pretty awesome. And now the new sidewalk system that's going in place, which you probably haven't even seen yet, is going to be a pretty cool thing. Lots of good stuff happening, and it's not just from an athletic world.
Yeah, and all the new dorms and everything else. Let's talk about the biggest one that's going on right now, though. The new football stadium, Danny J. Dykehouse Stadium, going to hold 19,340 fans will be capacity. Is that a special number for any reason, or is that just, does that make it bigger than anybody else that's around here? Is that special for some reason?
There was a particular number we wanted to be bigger than.
All right.
And this happens to be a little bit bigger than that, actually. And so we were actually sticking with right around 19,300. And when you're working with the construction process, sometimes seats get taken out because, hey, we forgot to design this or we need to do this. And sometimes seats get put back in. So it looks like it's going to end up at 19,340 when the stadium is fully complete in the fall of 2016.
Yeah.
For this coming year, I get the question all the time, how many seats this year? Well, this year it'll be around 17,000 seats, which last year was 11,000. And so you can see both, you can see on paper the difference in number of seats based on the former East Side bleachers and the new East Side bleachers and the new South Side bleachers.
And the way it wraps around there is going to be very cool.
Yeah, the wraparound's awesome.
It's unbelievable just what that's done so far for the cosmetics of our campus, you know, and our, kind of selfishly, our little corner in our athletic department, you know, just, it's big and it's blue, and I mean, it's so clean, you know.
Yeah.
And
we are fired up.
Unbelievable.
Just to have it be bigger than the guys up north, which I know you're kind of
That's
hinting
what
at.
we were alluding to,
I'm not going to be shy about that. We're excited. Our administration, everybody, so many donors stepped up to make that stadium happen. We're excited, and anytime you can be bigger and better than them, it's going to help us take the steps we need to win a championship.
And Dan, we talked a little bit during the spring game, or about that time, of recruiting just in the last couple of years where you've been out, and recruiting to facilities is a huge thing. I liken it too when you're traveling. You want a nice hotel, you got to have a pool, you got to have all these nice things. Yep. Kids want that stuff, and it's made a difference in recruiting, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, the last 3 years we've had, you know, arguably we've continually have the best class that we've ever had in history. You know, we sit and we talk about that. Now it's time for this year for those young guys to get out there and play a little bit. And facilities help, you know, and I think that we've always done, we've been successful in the Division I era because of the people, so much of it, and Coach Stig, and just kind of how the programs ran and the relationships that we build. But to be able to couple that with facilities that compete with anybody in the country now, you know, we're getting quite a few guys just off the total package. Now, if we feel that we have the total package, it gives our coaches confidence. We've got 10 guys committed right now. That's verbally committed for February. I mean, that's more than any FCS, you know, team in the country. I'm confident to say that. Yeah. So we're excited.
It helps us too.
Exactly. I was going to say, just for you guys, maybe not the main thing, but that's a big deal for basketball guys.
Game day experience on Saturdays when we're doing our official visits. It's a big deal, and I know they use ours too. Mm-hmm. You know, they love it when we have a rivalry game, when they have junior day and things like that. It's because it's always been around here. We just got to get you on campus And we don't fake things. I mean, we genuinely have a lot of good people around. And if we can get you on campus and show you our goals, our visions, where this thing is headed, it's a pretty special place. Yeah. And the football stadium, it's a great start to a college game day when you have that to offer.
I know people want to come play for you and Coach Nagy, but it helps to have nice stuff to show.
No question about it. Right? There's no doubt about it. Makes a difference.
The wow factor, the first time you see something, I was there every track meet we had this year, and we hosted a couple of high school track
at the new
meets.
Indoor facility.
At the new indoor, which we haven't even talked about, just the football stadium. The indoor, to see those track athletes come in from different communities and our own community and go, whoa, you know, half of them are probably going to college for something other than track. So it gives the impression this place has a good thing going on. It's fun to see.
And the Sanford Jackrabbit Athletic Complex is the new indoor facility. It's got the new Jackrabbit up there now.
Yes.
Looks very cool. But weights, sports medicine in there has grown along with everything else. That's got to be fabulous.
Second to none.
Yeah.
It's second to none. That awesome. Place is fantastic.
Let's talk about not that Frost Arena will be next in any stretch. It might be as far as some upgrades there. The basketball home of the Jackrabbits. What would make Frost Arena even better than it is as a home court for South Dakota State?
I think in a lot less terms, it's no secret we needed to do something with our football stadium in that situation. Yeah. I mean, it was time. And Frost Arena has been great for a long and continues to be great. It's been great for a long time, and it's had a lot of people run through there. I think just cleaning it up, making it a little more, I use the word cosmetics with the football.
A little more shine.
Yeah, a little more shine, and and I know there's always talk that kind of the new thing, even at our levels, moving towards practice facilities. That way it doesn't conflict with class schedules. You can do it when at 2 o'clock every day or 4 o'clock, whatever you decide to do, and have that space available. And then
because all practices are on the main floor.
Yeah,
right now.
Correct. We do slide over the barn on occasion. Yeah. But you get to the fall where there's volleyball, men's and women's basketball sharing the gym time. There gets to be some different gym times that it gets tough to get in there. And the nice thing about practice facility is they can get in there whenever they want to, and slide a card if they want to get shots.
And that might be at least next on the wish list to have some of those things at Frost, right?
Absolutely. It's certainly been discussed, some practice facilities for men's basketball, women's basketball, wrestling, volleyball. Those have been discussed. Upgrades of locker rooms, upgrades of offices, things like that. And we certainly have looked into it and look forward to seeing it go down a little bit more as we finish up some of these other construction projects.
Get that football stadium done.
Yeah. The cool thing about it is I think the fans too. I mean, it does so much for our student athletes, but it also generates so much excitement. Yeah. I mean, we're talking being able to seat 17,000. I mean, we need to pack that baby this year. And I know when we take a recruit to the basketball game and there's towels waving and our fans are on their feet, there's nothing like it. So it's generating a lot of excitement with them too, which is awesome.
It's almost created, obviously all the Division II success was off the charts. Mm-hmm. And then the move to Division I, I think you could argue that it's been highly successful up to this point. It took a while. It took some programs.
It's been 11 years.
Yeah. But things are going, and now this is like a whole nother new level of excitement now because now you're talking about big time facilities, and matching up against anybody at your level in the country, and that's exciting.
All right, we'll talk some more hoops later. We're going to talk some more Jackrabbit football when we come back. The team reports this week. They get things going. We'll talk about that with Coach Jackson when we return to Benchwarmers.
Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome back to Benchwarmers. Buffalo Wild Wings here in Brookings, home of the South Dakota State University Jackrabbits. Football gets started this week here, Coach Jackson. What's going on this week, at least to get started?
A lot. We've got guys moving in on Wednesday, so our true freshmen and redshirt freshmen will get those guys moved into the dorms, and that's always an adventure with some moms shedding some tears and a lot of fridges moving and that kind of thing. And then we do all of our NCAA paperwork that night, and then we roll the ball out. Actually, on Thursday will be our first official put the helmets on, practice, get out there and go. So we're excited. A lot of new faces and a lot of young guys we're expecting some big things from. So ton of new energy, and we're pumped.
And you've got basically 4 weeks or so before you get the opener at Kansas, right?
Yeah, a little bit different this year. Typically we have 3 weeks before school starts. We'll have 2 weeks of practice before school starts, and then truly 2 weeks with our guys taking classes, and then we'll head down and play Kansas on the 5th. And we're pumped. I mean, it's a great opportunity for us. Those BCS games, our guys get up for those games as they do every game, but they have a little bit of an extra chip on their shoulder maybe for those, and we're going to work on us for a month, and then we're going to go down there and hopefully let the Jayhawks have it a little bit.
Right.
So we're pumped.
And Omaha, you're from Omaha.
Yes, sir.
You recruit down the Nebraska area.
Mm-hmm.
You get down to the Kansas City area at all?
Yeah, I do the state of Nebraska and then the state of South Dakota as well. And then actually Coach Bubach, our old defensive coordinator, he used to make that journey from Omaha down to Kansas City and do that. But our running backs coach, Coach McKissick Luke, he handles the Kansas City and the Missouri areas for us now and does a really, really nice job. So, hopefully we will get out and see some high school games on that Friday when we're down there, do a little bit of recruiting and try to flood that area. We did that 4 years ago and it helped us out a lot. 3 years ago, I suppose, when we played them, and it helped us out a lot recruiting down there. So
yeah, that is a big tool for that. And we've talked a little bit about recruiting to the new facilities here, but just in that area, in that Omaha area, have you seen your home area, more players want to come up and play for the Jackrabbits?
Yeah, definitely. It's just marketing the area and just people feeling more comfortable coming here. And I think any coach, if you're able to recruit where you're from, you should have a little bit of advantage knowing those coaches. For me, it's been a blast because a lot of those guys coached while I was a player in Nebraska, and then I coached with them when I was coaching high school football. And so it's fun to really be able to have a relationship with high school coaches and families at all levels. And so, we signed 6 scholarship players from the state of Nebraska last year and another 5 from South Dakota. So we, really in terms of the Midwest, where we're wanting to make our hay, we're starting to do that. We are doing that. So
a little bit specifically about the team this year. Everybody talks about the offense where you lose Sumner and Zenner and Schneider and all those guys. Defensively, I think you guys are going to be really good. Why do I think that?
Well, we play hard. Our guys are going to play hard. I think no matter who we have out there, you're going to see maximum effort, and our guys believe. This is the 3rd year running this defense, and Coach Stig has always told us when you're going to implement a new defense or a new scheme, which we did a few years ago, it takes a couple seasons for everything to cycle through and there be 100%, not belief, but just understanding how to handle a stack adjustment or a bunch adjustment, or they shift into this. What do you do? And so we've got a ton of guys that are athletic guys that have been here all summer working their butts off, and they're ready to take the next step. And they know. I mean, our defensive guys know that we don't have Austin Sumner and Zenner and Schneider, and we'll be great on that side of the ball offensively. But I think they're very excited to take some ownership in our success this season.
And just
so
guys at your position are veterans too. You have Forsyth and Butler at the cornerbacks, and Trey Carr and some other guys that might help. Huh?
Yeah, we've got 2 seniors leading us out there at corner, which that makes me feel pretty good. It's the first time that's happened to be able to just say you can put those guys out there and they're going to be able to kind of take command and control. And Jimmy's a captain, and Ryan's a tremendous leader for our football team too. So, with those guys and then some young guys that we've got added to the mix, at corner we're going to be pretty special. And shoot, Nick Mears at safety is as good as we've had since I've been here. So we're excited. We're still going to have some new faces on defense as well, but spring was a great time for them to learn, and they took a lot of strides. And we're excited on the defensive side of the ball. As Coach Brown will tell you, our D coordinator will tell you, we've got a lot of work to do, and by no means are we going to tell our guys, that they're pretty good. They're going to have to go out and earn it and do it every single week versus great competition. So
TJ Lally and all those linebackers coming back. A little up front, we might have some surprises. We'll see here in a month out of the Jackrabbits. But picked the brilliant media poll came out, and Jackrabbits picked 5th in the Missouri Valley. North Dakota State, Illinois State, Northern Iowa, and Youngstown State with Coach Bo Pelini.
Yep.
All picked ahead of the Jackrabbits. Do you guys care, or is that a perfect spot to be right in the middle of the conference?
I mean, we haven't even really discussed it. We probably won't. To be honest, in the Valley, you're picking your top 5 teams are all top 10 in the country teams. And we understand that one play here and there is going to separate us between a playoff berth or a national championship. We know that all too well the last 2 years. We've won some close games where we made the play, and then we lost a couple tight ones as well where we could have made a play. So, really where we start in the Valley, I mean, it's all going to be a deal on who stays healthy and, who makes the play when their number's called. So we're not too worried about the preseason part of things. We know that we need to focus on us to get it done.
First Missouri Valley game, hosting North Dakota State on October 3rd. Let's talk about this before we stop talking about football here. Zach Zenner is in camp with the Detroit Lions. What are his prospects? What do you guys think?
We talked to Zach. Zach's doing awesome. There's an article out that we put out on our Twitter page and that kind of deal. everybody on the team calls him Doc.
Yeah.
Riley Reef is actually their starting offensive tackle, and Riley was saying something about everybody loves him. And that's from the coaches to the players, and so Zach is fighting for that third and fourth running back spot. They're going to keep 4. So if he's able to get the job done on special teams, he'll be on the 53-man roster, which we expect. But if not, he'll be on a practice squad or somebody else's 53-man roster. So, he's doing everything that he can.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
He'll be out there.
Yeah.
Brian Witzman, left tackle from a few years ago, is fighting for. He's a backup right now with the Houston Texans at right tackle. So, we're well represented in the league, which is fun.
All right. Homer, just last thing, single game tickets are on sale for football right now. Is there going to be anything different getting into the stadium this year for fans?
Good question. It may vary week to week because construction, that's a very good question. Construction will continue throughout the season. And so on the Thursday night before we have a home football game and the Friday morning, we'll shore everything up to make sure it's safe for the patrons coming in. But then Monday, we'll take that down and start constructing again.
Fun.
And so probably anticipate very similar to last year, where there might be a little rough terrain getting up to certain spots, but we'll make some pathways. Just check the signage and follow the herd each game. We will make it as safe as possible.
All right, good to know. Starting home opener September 12th against Southern Utah with the halfway new stadium here in Brookings. We're going to talk some Jackrabbit basketball when we come back. Why is Nate Walters not in the NBA right now? And what are the Jacks going to do without Cody Larson? How are they going to look? We'll talk about that with Coach Klink next.
Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome back to Benchwarmers in Brookings, South Dakota this week with the Jackrabbit crew. And Coach Klink, let's talk a little bit about men's basketball. Nate Walters played for the Jackrabbits a couple of years ago. Was drafted, played with Milwaukee, kind of bounced around after they let him go, but he just signed in Turkey. What's the latest on Nate?
He's working hard to get healthy. He banged up a finger in the NBA Summer League. He was playing great in the Summer League in Orlando and was set to go to Vegas with another crew. And the word we get back is, they liked him. But it is what it is, when you bust up a hand pretty good. And the one thing you got to know about Nate is if it's sit on the bench in the NBA or go play in Turkey, he's going to go play. Yeah. It drives him crazy to sit, and he hasn't had a lot of game minutes other than in the D League. Yeah. And the only way you can prove that you're an NBA player is to play. So he's looking forward to that situation. He was excited about the contract and where he's going. So
yeah, this is not a bad gig. This is a good team and a good team in the EuroLeague.
No question. Very high level basketball. And the goal is for him to get back in the NBA. And
yeah, this does not end his NBA prospects whatsoever.
Certainly doesn't end it. A lot of those guys, they'll go. He needs minutes, and to get in a flow and a rhythm, shoot the ball a little bit better. And he'll get his opportunity to be back in the league, just the way he plays.
Did he get a raw deal in Milwaukee when they let him go?
It doesn't seem right, does it?
No.
It seemed, I don't know. It was a strange deal, And at the end of the day, I don't want to speak for Nate, but I don't think he was totally excited about the whole situation, how things were going. But he got a couple 10-day contracts, got him through, and ended up in the D League where he got to play a lot of minutes and really started to produce, as he settled in. So you never know how things work. Maybe that was the best thing to happen to him too. So Nate will make the most of it.
All right, Jackrabbits, we'll get started this November. Talk about what's coming back. Cody Larson, great player, ended up having a great 3 years as a Jackrabbit. And he's basically what you guys lost. At 1 through 4, you got coming back with those guards coming back. What's it look like right now?
We're excited. I think the thing that is most exciting for us is the spring and summer that our guys have had. Because, you could argue that they had a pretty good year last year, but they came up a little short on what they really wanted to do. And they've really been, I think it humbled them more than anything, and they're hungry. We've got a fun group to coach. We're excited about them. They come to work all the time. We'll add a couple of different faces, but a lot of those guys that played last year are back. So
Marshall, Parks at the guards, Jake Biddle, Reed Tellinghausen,
Reed,
a great freshman year. All those guys are back. Keaton Moffitt.
Keaton's back. Lane, who played minutes, he's back. Skylar Flatten's back. We got got a lot of minutes back with this group, and the 5 spot, we'll figure that spot out.
Ian Tyson played as Cody's backup last year.
Yep. We're adding Mike Daum, redshirted from Nebraska last year. We're excited about Mike. Connor Devine's back, and Connor's played significant minutes in some really big games at St. Louis last year, out in Utah last year. He came in conference tournament, and we're looking for Connor to try to make another big jump and be part of this rotation.
Yeah,
so.
I guess you have to pick from about 10 or 11 guys to make that rotation.
That's okay.
Yes.
Quickly about the league. We talk about facilities here so much and what might be coming to Frost Arena, but they're going to have new arenas in the next year in Omaha. In Omaha this year, University of South Dakota's got a new basketball arena in the works for next year.
Yep.
Dakota State's going to have one too, and you got to keep up with stuff like that.
Yeah, you do. And our administration, they're doing a nice job. We talked about it a little earlier in the show. We addressed what we had to address with the football stadium. It was obvious in everybody's eyes to do that. I know the one thing that trumps everything, I don't care how shiny it is success.
Yep.
And we've been able to have that, and we've been able to get kids on campus that want to be part of that. And we've been able to get involved with kids that we want to be involved with. And we feel confident that here in the very, very near future, we're probably going to get on the right side of that facility situation too. So we feel good about it.
And last thing, you guys are working on a game possibly at the Pentagon.
We are.
In Sioux Falls, right?
Great place to play. They want to have us. We want to go there. We're just trying to find a third party that wants to play us down there. So scheduling is always a struggle. But we're working hard on it. We're trying to make something happen. Yep.
All right. Going to be another great year for Jackrabbit men's basketball. When we come back on Benchwarmers, we'll go into the crowd here at Buffalo Wild Wings for our Winging It question of the week.
Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Our Winging It question this week comes from Mitchell. He is 14 years old. He's from Willow Lake, South Dakota. Wants to know who will be the best quarterback in the NFL this year. Dan?
I pray that it's Jay Cutler. I'm confident it won't be, but I'm a Bears fan, so I got to take the easy way out with that one, I suppose.
Yeah, this is not the correct answer, but I'm a Vikings fan and loyal, and I'm not going to say Aaron Rodgers, so I'm saying Teddy Bridgewater.
Wrong.
I go with my head over my heart. Seems to work better most of the time.
You're a Broncos fan?
I'm a Broncos fan.
And you're not taking your boy?
I'm not taking my boy. He's 54, which is fine.
Okay.
But I got Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers?
Yeah. Close second, Andrew Luck.
Luck?
I like the Luck pick.
And it's the
Andrew
answer
Luck,
is still Tom Brady.
He's going to be missing a quarter
Brady?
of the
I
season.
don't know.
He will not lead the league in passing this year.
He's still the best quarterback at the end of the year.
Yeah,
He might be.
I agree.
He might be.
I agree.
All right. When we come back, we're going to have our poll question, talk a little bit of Major League Baseball, who did themselves right at the trade deadline, and who's going to be the World Series favorite now.
Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome back to Benchwarmers. Our poll question here at Buffalo Wild Wings this week. Which team is best positioned to win the World Series following last week's trade deadline? Overwhelmingly, the Royals is the choice here, Homer. They picked up Johnny Cueto from the Reds.
Right.
They got Ben Zobrist, who's been hitting home runs from Oakland. The Blue Jays did themselves well, too, but who do you think did the best at the trade deadline?
I would have taken either the Astros or the Blue Jays, but the Royals are certainly a good choice, and being from around this territory, if the Twins aren't going to do it, I'll take the Royals. That'd be just fine.
Were you upset? Were you surprised the Twins really didn't do anything?
I was a little surprised they didn't do anything.
Why?
Because they have a chance, and they haven't had a chance in a while.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm still taking the Twins. Even, not in the best of the trade, but
for a wild card shot.
For a wild card shot. Yes.
All right. The Royals lead them by 8 games right now in the Central. Quickly here, Danny. Good luck this week. It's going to be a whirlwind this week to get going, right?
Thank you. Can't wait. Appreciate you guys having me.
All right. You going fishing for another month, or what are you going to do?
I'm going fishing.
Attaboy. Thanks, Homer.
Yeah, thank you. One real quick thing is the east side of the football stadium will actually have a ticket booth this year, so you can come through the east side.
Beautiful, on the new side.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week in Fargo. Thanks for watching Benchwarmers on Midco Sports Network.